The group realizes that the camera takes photos apparently 24 hours in the future. Suddenly, the camera takes a picture on its own. They look at it to see it as the picture of the next day when they were going to have a house party. The movie starts as we see a painter named Finn trying to paint a canvas in his apartment. He lives in the same apartment with his girlfriend, Callie, and his best friend, Jasper. Finn is also the manager of that apartment complex, while Jasper is a gambling addict. That day, Finn meets the apartment's security guard, Big Joe, who he invites to a house party on the next day. Soon after, their landlord calls to inform them that one of the tenants, called Mr. B, is 2 months late to pay his rent. So, Callie goes to check on Mr. B. She knocks on the door, but no one answers. There is also a pile of newspapers in front of the door, suggesting that he has not come out for a long time. Callie uses spare keys to go inside. Cut to Finn's room. Finn and Jasper are talking when Callie barges in and takes them to Mr. B's apartment. The three of them go in to see a wall full of Polaroid pictures of their living room. Mr. B had been taking pictures of them through their living room window. Jasper thinks he was spying on them, but there are empty pictures of the room as well. Moreover, some of the pictures from the collection are missing. Finn turns around and sees a huge machine in the same room. It looks like a massive camera pointed directly at their living room window. A Polaroid picture hangs from it. We see that the coat rack from their living room is knocked over in it. They figure that the pictures on the walls are taken from this camera. Later, they are in their apartment talking, when Callie suddenly knocks over the rack. The group matches the picture with the look of their living room, and it is a perfect match. The group realizes that the camera takes photos apparently 24 hours in the future. Suddenly, the camera takes a picture on its own. They look at it to see it as the picture of the next day when they were going to have a house party. The three of them are in shock. Jasper still doesn't believe that the camera takes pictures of the future. Callie finds Mr. B's journal, which says that he has seen his death through the camera. So, he planned to disobey the cardinal rule of time and causality. Finn examines the pictures and finds that all of them are taken at exactly 8 p.m. However, the wall has some pictures taken during the daytime. Strangely, some of the pictures from the wall are missing. Then, the group goes to Mr. B's storage unit and finds his dead body there. His face looks burnt and rotten, but his clothes are fine. Jasper thinks that he died because he disobeyed the cardinal rule. They are now back in their apartment, when Jasper suggests they use the camera to gamble. Finn is doubtful of the idea, but Callie supports it. That night, they have a house party. Jasper and Callie dance with the guests, while Finn goes to Mr. B's place, and takes a picture exactly at 8 p.m. He compares the Polaroid picture with the picture he took, and it is exactly the same. Just then, a picture comes out from the camera. In the picture, he sees the three of them posing for the camera. A paper with the gambling results is pasted on the window. The following day, Finn is still doubtful of the idea, but Callie suggests that if they do not do what the picture says, they would be breaking the cardinal rule. They could end up like Mr. B as well. So, Callie starts watering Mr. B's plants and taking his newspaper to make it seem like he is still in his house. Finn looks at the canvas in the picture and paints without having to brainstorm any ideas. Meanwhile, Jasper tapes the gambling results to the window every day. Several days go by and the group earns a lot of money through it, as they cover up Mr. B's disappearance. However, a week later, they receive a picture in which Jasper and Callie are kissing in the background, while Finn paints in front of them. Finn is disturbed by the picture, but they have to do what it says to follow the cardinal rule. So, that night, Jasper and Callie kiss, as Finn paints. But the actual kiss goes on too long, causing Finn to get angry and jealous. He goes to Mr. B's place, and the new picture is already there. In it, they see Jasper's gambling bookie, Ivan, sitting in their living room. The group is shocked because Ivan is a violent criminal. The following day, Jasper is very nervous. He stays on the couch, waiting for Ivan, as Callie and Finn leave. Soon after, Ivan comes to visit. He is suspicious of Jasper's recent wins, so he threatens Jasper to tell him his secret. Jasper tells him that Ivan can ride on his gambles and leave them alone. Just then, Callie and Finn arrive with the next day's picture. In the picture, Callie is nude, posing for Finn's painting, as Jasper's silhouette spies on them through the mirror. Ivan gets a look at the picture too, and then he leaves. Cut to the next day, Finn and Callie get ready to paint. Callie poses as Finn paints her, but exactly at 8, they see Ivan outside the window. Turns out that the silhouette from the picture was actually Ivan. He and his goon, Marcus, threaten the group and find out about the camera. They make a deal. Now the group has to pose for the photos with gambling results every day for Ivan to make bets on. He wants to profit off the camera himself. The group does as Ivan says. They provide him with the gambling results for a few days. When suddenly, one day, Finn notices that the next day's picture has a weird painting on it. This photo shows a hastily made skull and crossbones on the canvas. It is not Finn's usual style of painting. The group thinks that the future Finn is trying to warn them of something, so Jasper is very nervous the next day. He hides several weapons around the living room in case someone attacks them. He practices stabbing with his knife. That evening, Finn runs into Big Joe at the gate, who has just gotten a job as a police officer. But as they talk, Marcus spies on them from his car. Joe gives Finn his card. He is a police officer now. When Finn comes back to the room, he tells Jasper what has happened. Sometime later, Ivan and Marcus arrive. They're suspicious of Big Joe. They find the card of the police and question the trio about their connection with Joe. They threaten to kill all three of them. But Jasper lies to him that he has seen tomorrow's picture, which is Ivan being killed by Marcus in it. This makes Ivan suspicious of Marcus, so he goes to Mr. B's apartment to look at the picture and confirm it himself. Meanwhile, Jasper stabs Marcus as he had practiced. When Ivan comes back, he sees Marcus dead, and Jasper attacks him with a bat and kills him as well.